All right, Mirko. I don't even know if that's how you pronounce your name. So, what I want to be able to show you real quick is this is one of my goals that I'm trying to get tackled with. I don't even really want to call it an automation agency, but I think you'd have to have this to run an automation agency. And I think maybe if I show this to you, that this would be enough to spark in your brain what really needs to happen. So, what I've got in Airtable is a couple tables: workflows and processes, applications or softwares, automations, which would basically be Zaps, but I'm going to call them automations because a lot of tools you may build with Integromat, or I use a lot in Process Plan. A change log in some capacity, engineers that would be building them, and then companies if you were going to be building these out for other companies, and then a Zap log altogether. Okay, let me close this out. And so, really, what I'm trying to get done is if you go into your applications, each application will get a number, okay, in some capacity, okay, your softwares. And then what you'd want to be able to do is to go to, let's say, for instance, Airtable. You're going to have application number 3, although I would probably number this 103 or something like that to make it a 3-digit thing automatically. And then this would already be linked to every automation that you would use Airtable in. Create a record of an errored Zap. Create a record in Airtable when a Zap is turned off. Add a DocuSign to Airtable. So if you ever lose or need to replace an application, you would know what automations are going to be affected by that. Okay. And then, so the same way, all of our automations, we want to be able to go in here and number our automations the same way. Okay. So create the record in Airtable. So I would go into my automations, and whichever one create a record in Airtable is, I think that's where we just said it was number 7, right? Well, no, I've even got a Zap for create a record of an errored Zap in Airtable. And that's this one that we're looking at right now. And so the triggers would be anytime that a Zap turns on or off, create a record in Airtable. Anytime that you build a new one, that would be create, I guess, on or off. If you get one that's errored, if you get one that's paused, and then we can go in there and assign critical function type Zaps or automations, right? But basically, you want to be notified or told when something very important happens. And then obviously, so in this Zap log, what I do is these are the ones that I've started. You can go in there and organize these things by the day, which I haven't done right now. But then you can go in and rectify whatever needs to happen. The next thing that I've got is a link to the task history. So add a customer from HubSpot. So if we go to this one here, add a customer to HubSpot from Process Plan when the intake form is completed. Note says require, and this is the note that came up from this app, contact email is missing. Okay, so it tells you why, and you can click on the link, and then you've actually also got a link back to the task history of what's going on, so you can fix that. So anyway, this is what I've got. So my question to you is, does this inspire you to, want to run with this and do anything with it? If so, then maybe we could pitch in together and you help me do this with mine, and you kind of duplicate something on your end the same way. Zapier should want this. I don't know who in the heck wouldn't want or need this. I am not a programmer. I hate I'm creative. I'd rather build the automation to be done, but like keeping track of what you have and where it is an issue and a problem. So that's the reason why I'm trying to build this change log, where you would basically go in there and I haven't built the form yet, but let's just say that you did build a form. It's going to be, actually, I don't even think I've got, if I go into my change log, I would need to create a few different things. So I'd have to have a engineer, and this one would be a linked record to engineers. And then the other one would be, maybe it's going to be an automation. I'm going to call it automation touched because I don't know exactly what I would do first, but then that would go to automations. And then maybe you could do a different one for applications. Right, something like this, okay? And so basically, now we could go back to where if you're going to fill out a form, now this form would look a little bit better because you'd be able to drop your engineer down here. The name actually probably wouldn't be anything, because I would probably make this a junction field, whatever capacity. But if we opened the form, every time you were going to build something, these are the applications. Let's say you did something in Stripe, automation, touch. So I don't know if this would be a good one. Maybe when you're building new ones, applications, engineer. So we'd hit Shane. And then basically, okay, so this name here, I don't know exactly what I would do, because, like, you're going to do something, right? And then it's going to be explanation here. And then honestly, I would record all of these things in my screencast. So you can go in here, the one that I'm recording, I could hit stop and then put the link right here. And this would be a video building the thing, if you would. So then you can hit submit. And then in essence, you're going to have, some type of change log where you could see that the engineer, I would need a new column called actions, of what actions they would do, whether it's troubleshoot, build, stop, whatever. So there would be some type of actions, selector, right? And then maybe this is going to be a single line text to where they trouble, let's just say fixed, examined, right? Something like this. And so you could say that Shane examined Stripe or something like that. So anyway, that's the video. I'm going to send you this in an email and see what you think. Hopefully this will kind of pique you a little bit. And I'd like to know what you do for these in some capacity. You've got to have something better than this. Surely I can't be the most organized guy in the room.